A former Browns player told us what just went wrong the last few years in Cleveland.
That's right. Former offensive lineman Wyatt Teller gave an interview that kind of raised some eyebrows, talking about his former team, his complacency, and what exactly went wrong in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a really interesting sideline look into the mind of Wyatt Teller with his new team, the Houston Texans, of course. This hits near and dear to my heart. I was a huge Wyatt Teller, Carly Teller, the Teller family guy. So this is kind of my hoorah. This is my last time to get to talk about Wyatt Teller on the page. So let's dive in and take a listen to what he had to say on the sideline of the Houston Texans practice field.
Left in the tank from the 4 years previous to the last two?
Yeah, I feel like in all honesty, got a little complacent. You get used to a city, you get used to your routine, everything like that. But at the same time, it kind of refired me up. End of the year last year, I'm not going to throw away 6 years that they treated me unbelievable for 6 months of indifference or whatever. So I still have no ill will to anybody there. But it felt like they kind of blamed it on the offensive line, which don't get me wrong, did we play at our standard? We were the top 5 offensive line for so long, and then to kind of drop off. But I mean, there was so much issues. You can't point at one thing. But that being said, it kind of fired me up coming into this offseason, training as hard as I've trained in a long time. Kind of getting body fat down, getting weight up.
Complacency, that's the theme here. What do you think?
It frustrates me to hear him, say that I was treated poorly, but at the same time, I didn't do my job. Like, that's what I'm hearing right now. I got lazy and I didn't do my job, and I was upset when coaches pointed it out. And I'm not giving credit to Kevin Stefanski right now or how he treated the tellers. Like, it has nothing to do with that. But you're basically saying, yeah, I got lazy. I wasn't performing at a high standard. And now I'm invigorated. Like, as a Browns fan, it pisses me off a little bit, frankly.
I'll give a little pushback because I don't think Wyatt Teller was ever really the problem, especially in 2025 with the offensive line. I think it had more to do with the tackles and the declining play around him. He declined as well, don't get me wrong. I'm not just defending him because I was a fan of him while he was here in Cleveland. But to me, the frustrating thing is talking about how complacent you are. I understand that you have your family here. I understand that you have, a comfortability when it comes to what you have going on here from 2019 to 2025. That's a long time. He spent 7 years of his career in Cleveland. So to get complacent when you were an all pro, you were a Pro Bowl level guard, you were one of the faces of one of the best offensive lines when the Browns went on their playoff run, is an interesting way to go about it. And it's an interesting way to say in the media. Now, I'm curious to see if Wyatt Teller comes back to form a little bit because of how much more he's locked in and focused, as his words said, or if it's going to be much of the same, where he's more in that average middle of the pack for guards now as he continues to get older and continues to play out his NFL career.
Well, let me push back to your pushback on two fronts. Number one, a guy like Miles Garrett, he set the single season sack record when the team was playing for nothing. So he showed up
True.
every day. It would have been easy for him to get complacent too. And then what would have happened if Wyatt Teller would have been more of a leader in the locker room? Instead, yet like the tackles might have been more of an issue, but if he was holding them more accountable and not getting lazy along with them, maybe it's a different O line. Like maybe the results are different. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case. Obviously, we had a lot of issues, but to be one of the leaders of this team and to say basically he was giving up at the end, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way.
It does rub me the wrong way too, and it's disappointing for me. Again, as a guy who was a former fan of the player and the family, right? Like it's disappointing to hear, oh, it kind of got rough there at the end, and I got complacent instead of trying to work harder. That makes me sad because I loved watching him. I loved watching him throw pancakes all over the field. But I also understand that everybody's not going to have the mindset of Miles Garrett, whereas we wish he would, because it might have, like in your case and what you said, helped bring up a guy like a KT Levinston, who was starting games at tackle when he really should have been on the practice squad damn near when we traded for him. I know he would have been on our 53 man no matter what, but I'm saying inactive. He should have been inactive during game day and being picked up instead of having guys get complacent.
Obviously, his wife, Carly Teller, was a big part of the WAG, so to speak. Can I give you an unpopular opinion?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not a fan. I'm not calling out Carly Teller in particular. I'm talking about WAGs in general. Like these wives and girlfriends hitch their wagon, so to speak, to these players that become professional athletes, and they think that the voice that that professional athlete has garnered because of their play, their status in the community, etc., lends them a voice. And that's a little frustrating to me. Like, especially, we talked about Gabriel's girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is, quite a bit, and it backfired on her. Don't get me wrong. But you don't have status just because your man has status. And I don't know, it irks me a little bit. Yet you get some of these wives and girlfriends, like a Carly Teller, who are very opinionated on the Browns or how the team treats her man when she has nothing to do with the organization or the success. At the Office is brought to you by Rambler Reserve.
And we're wearing the hats right now.
We are wearing the hats right now, and honestly, this might be one of the best looking things I've put on my head in years.
Rambler Reserve is a Cleveland apparel brand based on history for people who love this city and just can't shut up about it.
So, us?
Us, exactly. Whether it be hats, tees, hoodies, you're going to the game, or you're going to the Muni lot. It's perfect apparel for any Cleveland fan out there.
If your friends say you ramble too much about sports, just own it. Head on over to ramblerreserve.com and use code ATO10 to get 10% off your order.
That's ATO10. ATO like at the office 10, ramblerreserve.com. See, and I disagree with this, and maybe this is coming from a guy who has a girlfriend who's been in a long-term relationship, and this is how she gets into sports too. Like, she was a huge fan of Carly Teller, right? And I liked watching Carly Teller's content when it came to talking about her family or going to the games, what it's like to be a wag. So to me, I understand it. Like, it's another form of content. Like, at the end of the day, a bunch of us are just out here trying to be content creators, right? It's the same
But
thing
it's
for
the
her.
negativity. I don't mind that, and do whatever you want. It's the negativity and coming back, like giving your opinion in a negative way about the team that pays your husband millions of dollars is a little frustrating to me.
Well, let's show what they have going on and why you're talking about this, because there was a tweet that went pretty darn viral if you look at the view count. We're almost at 1 million views down there. And when the Browns traded Myles Garrett, Carly Teller posted this. It's the classic meme of the little girl smiling in front of the burning house. And there was a lot of reactions to this. There was a lot of ups and downs. Carly got into it with some of the fans as well that was kind of calling her out on this behavior. And I kind of agree with you when it comes to something like this. Like, we loved you as a fan base. We continue to love you guys even when you guys posted your letter. You guys had a charity event giving away and selling your clothes to donate to local Cleveland charities. So, like, why are we dragging the team at the same time when, a lot of your popularity and a lot of your love is tied to the orange and brown?
Bingo. It's giving immature. It's giving, I want to be a Bravo housewife that's just talking drama. And don't get me wrong, I love my Bravo shows as much as anybody else. Not the housewives, but I watch Summer House and other things. But it's just giving immaturity to me. Like, I don't know. You can't buy class, as the saying goes. And I think we're seeing this here. And maybe it's just indicative of our current society. Like, it's so easy. Like, you and I, we just jump on a microphone. It's easy to do that. It's easy to put out a post on X, on Instagram, whatever, and share your opinion. But I don't know. At the end of the day, like, you're kind of biting back at the hand that fed you for a long time. And I just don't agree with it. We
That
put that into them. Like, we liked them and they did good for the community. Like, I'm not talking down on any of that stuff, but to then like turn around and have snide comments or things like that, which affects a fan base that loved you and supported you. I don't know. Not a fan.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what my issue is with this whole situation, right? Is the fight back, because it does affect and it does bother the fans that, supported you. I still follow Carly Teller, I still follow Wyatt Teller, and I will continue to follow them because I enjoy the content that comes out of them with their family, with their children and whatnot. However, when you post something like this, it's a turnoff to a lot of your fandom that you've grown here, and there's no reason to burn that bridge behind you when you could just not say anything and just be nice about it. But on the other hand, and to be fair to the Teller family, if they really did treat them wrong in terms of whatever happened behind the scenes, because we don't have like the full picture, right? We know Wyatt got benched at the end of his time here. He was shifting with Tevin Jenkins a little bit, and obviously the team wasn't good. Like, we don't know what happened behind the scenes in terms of, how they were treated by the front office because we knew Wyatt Teller wanted to come back, but the front office was ready to move on. Like, there's so much that we still truly don't know
It's a
that
business,
could,
though.
and I
Like,
get
first
that
of
too.
all, you just admitted that you gave up, like, you weren't playing at your level, so you can't be mad at getting benched at that, and again, not supporting Kevin Stefanski, and we questioned at the time, but you can't get mad at that, and then you also can't get mad at a front o like, you and I know Andrew Berry a little bit. I don't think he's a dick. Like, he didn't sit him down and be like, "Dude, we want nothing to do with you." It's a business at the end of the day. They got in their feelings, they got soft about it. That's on them, not on this on us or on this team.
Maybe that's fair. Maybe that's fair. Before we wrap this up, I want to ask you a quick question. Wyatt Teller, his career, where do you kind of put him? Do you think he's going to get in the Browns Ring of Honor? Obviously, I don't think he is a Hall of Fame player by any means, but he was an integral part to an important offensive line in the history of the Cleveland Browns. They let a lot of people into the Browns Ring of Honor. Do you think he fits the mold of Browns Ring of Honor?
No, I don't. Ring of Honor, I think Joe Thomas, I think Miles Garrett. Um, I don't think Wyatt Teller. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, tell me the guys that have made it that would be similar. I mean, it's Bernie Kosar, it's Sipe, it's those are Ring of Honor guys. Wyatt Teller, not a Ring of Honor guy in my opinion.
That's a fair pushback. I thought there were some more interesting names in there, but you're also not like Bernie's not in there right now. Bernie's not in the Ring of
He's
Honor.
not?
No, Bernie's not in the Ring of Honor. Josh Cribbs is not
Interesting.
in the Ring of Honor. So to think Wyatt Teller, like I could make an argument that he should be in it, right? Like I think there's a lot of guys from that time period of Cleveland Browns football that should be in it. The time period of Baker Mayfield, the time period of that should be, could be, and maybe will be introduced into it one day.
Nope.
I'm not
I,
saying
I'm I'm only gonna disagree because there are 16 members in the Ring of Honor, and that is Jim Brown, Coach Paul Brown, Frank Gatsky, Otto Graham, Lou Groza. These are guys that have streets named after them, by the way. So we're talking about the literal best of the best. Most recently, Clay Matthews, Max Speedy, and Joe Thomas. The last time we inducted was 2023, if I'm not mistaken. That's according to the Browns website. So we're talking like the best to ever put on the brown and orange, founding members of this franchise too. To talk about Wyatt Teller, he doesn't belong in that same league, like period.
No, that's fair. I was gonna make art because I thought it was much deeper than that until we were looking at the list. So I'm with you in that. Even though, again, I would push the argument that there's a good group of names from that 2020, 2021, 2019 era that I think could be and should be at some point maybe thought of it, but who
One,
knows how long they, who?
Miles Garrett, maybe two, maybe I would give Nick Chubb two, but beyond
Joe
that,
Bitonio? Joe Bitonio
no,
might be a Hall of Famer, Eric.
that doesn't. How do you compare him to Joe Thomas? That's the
It's
level we're talking about for the Ring of Honor.
It's hard
Like
to, but
that
if he's a Hall of Famer, he's definitely going into the Browns Ring of Honor, but that's another debate for another day.
that level is just I don't know. I think that standard is just so much higher than you're thinking of it right now.
Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. If Carly Teller and Wyatt Teller are right in terms of their frustrations with the Browns organization itself, or does this kind of discourse bother you? Let us know down below, and if you're feeling real froggy about it, leave us a voicemail 216-260-3433.
On that note, the debate never ends, but the show does for now. We'll see you next time.